Colin, was 220 to 12 points in the end. It is Galway who are the back-to-back Connacht champions. What did you make of the game?
I suppose it went along pretty much what we thought it would. Fairness to Sligo, they got out of the blocks nice and early. Pushed up on the Galway kick out. I think they went 3-1 up early doors, and they looked really, really good. But really, that first goal from Matthew Tierney, it just really sucked the life out of them. And when they look at it again, you know, the long ball over the top, I think Sligo full-back Eddie McGuinness just got the flight of the ball all wrong. Comer read it really well and then flicked it across to Tierney, and from there on, really, it looked like there was only going to be one winner.
Yeah, from the throw-in, we thought that Sligo, maybe there was something in it because they got a good start, they had the wind, but it was just 5 minutes in, and then really they took control then Galway.
Yeah, and I suppose with the conditions here today, there was a nice breeze there going into the bacon factory in here in Castlebar, so Sligo needed to get that breeze that felt from the start and needed to use it well. And in fairness, it looked like they started. I think they got the first score from Pats Milan, a free from Sean Carabine, and a score from Dara Cummins, and it just looked like there was a bit of life in their play. You know, the crowd were up for it. Galway then slowly come back into the game and just slowed down the pace of it a small bit. Again, they got level, and once they got that goal then from Comer, they just really slowed it down then after that. The second goal was an absolute killer for them, and when they look back on it during the week, it's really such a soft goal to concede at this level. They have the ball, they're playing it over and back. I think it's a crossfield ball that gets intercepted by Damien Comer in and around the midfield area. He runs all the way in and hand passes to Tierney. It's really kind of a goal, you'd almost see it underage level, and he puts it to the back of the net, and from there on, really they're kind of chasing shadows. In fairness to Sligo, they never throw in the towel at any stage. They keep at it. I think at one stage during the second half it was pretty much level for the first 20 minutes, but obviously Galway's class was going to show, and no player showed that more today than Matthew Tierney. I think we went down from 2-7, 2-4 from play. He was absolutely brilliant, and in a day where they kick 220, obviously he gets 2-7. If you go to their team, Damien Comer, Shane Walsh and Rob Flaherty, none of them get a score from play, and they're all taken off halfway through the second half. That's probably a good thing from Galway, because you can just see what a panel they're developing now, and they're not probably reliant on a Walsh or a Comer or a Paul Conroy, who wasn't even playing today. So Galway are in a really, really good place, there's no doubt about it.
Yeah, we don't know yet what the story is with Paul Conroy. Maybe I'll find out a little bit more when I talk to Bart Joyce. But even just to talk about the substitutes there, Shane Walsh, he came off quite early in the second half, and both of us were sort of saying to each other, you know, is there an injury? Is it maybe just resting him? Or is he sending a little bit of a message because I suppose he hasn't been playing the form that he can play, that we know that Shane Walsh can play? Yeah,
well, I mentioned to you, I think halfway through the half, that, you know, Walsh wasn't really involved in the game at all, and obviously we don't know if it's a knock or what it is. It was you would think if it was a knock, he would have come off at half time, especially with Galway in a very comfortable place. He came off about 5 minutes into the second half, so I don't know, is there something Bart Joyce saw that he didn't like, or was it just a case that he did have a nick and they just said, look, we'll get him off now, this game is done. Carl Sweeney came on from and did really well, kicked 2 points from play. So yeah, overall, look at, if it's not an injury, it's something I wouldn't be hugely concerned about. Even though Walsh's form, even last year at this stage, wasn't hugely impressive. It was really in the All-Ireland final that he kicked into gear, and we all know the magic that he produced then. But Galway really don't need Walsh to be doing that in every day. If he can just be contributing, getting a couple of scores, and obviously Damien Comer the same. Comer didn't get off the mark either today, but he got 2 really crucial assists for the goal. So that's the beauty about this Galway team at the minute. They don't look like they're reliant on possibly a Walsh or Comer or Conroy, which they might have over the last couple of years. I think any team that was playing Galway over the last few years, they're the 3 boys you go after straight away. The fact that they can rack up 320 in a kind of final without them boys really contributing to the scoreboard. Obviously Conroy didn't play, that only has to be a positive for them.
And even the substitutes as well, like everybody really made an impact when they came on, and that's such a positive thing for Galway.
It is now. It was a nice game for them to come into, really. Actually, the game was dead, you know, the space was there really for them. Sligo were trying to get up the pitch and attack as much as they could, which was leaving space behind for the likes of a Carl Sweeney to attack into. But yeah, overall I think Bart Joyce, when he looks back, I think Joyce would just be delighted this game is out of the way. And it's almost a strange thing to say about a Connacht final, but he pretty much knew they were going to win this game. It was just about getting it done. He would have already been looking at that group during the week and eyeing up Armagh, Tyrone, especially for the group stage, and really kind of having one eye on them. So I think now from tomorrow on, they'll be looking ahead for them. And I think, you know, the benefit of winning a Connacht final or provincial title is almost gone now, Aisling, because really Sligo have an easier route now, you know, and that's kind of the irony of the whole thing, that they're going to go into an easier group. Galway are going into a slightly tougher group. You know, before, when you won Connacht, you're straight into a quarter final, and you can almost put the feet up for a couple of weeks and you wait for someone to come through the qualifiers, but it's very, very different now. They have to put the heads down straight away and get ready for a very tough group.
Yeah, does winning a Connacht title, does it still mean a lot?
Look, it's very hard to know. It was so flat today here, Aisling. We both commented before the game, even coming in, the crowd was so dead. You barely know there was a game on here today out in the streets. There was no one about. There was no traffic coming in.
No traffic coming into Castlebar is something else.
Yeah, it is. And like I come down from the Galway side, from Clonmars there, and there was no traffic coming down from Tuam, and which usually would be on a kind of final. So it was it felt more like a National League game, to be honest, Aisling. So look at. I think the group stage is the final nail in the coffin for the provincial championships. I think it's only a matter of time. How long that takes is another thing. But I suppose they are first seed. That is one of the things. But obviously, when the group or when the draw is already done for the group, you know who you're going to get. So I think that's going to be something they're going to need to look at going forward for next year for sure.
If we just look at Group 2 then, the Galway are in. They'll have the Ulster runners up, which is either Armagh or Derry and Tyrone and Westmeath. What do you make of that group?
Well, look, to be honest, Aisling, because the 3 teams go through, or 1 team goes through and 2 or 3 play off, like if there was 2 teams going through, I'd be really, really excited about the group. But the fact that, none of them 3 are going to go out of the championship at that stage, that's the reality of it. I think Westmeath probably will finish bottom of the group. Obviously, one of Galway or Armagh and Tyrone are going to win it, but the other 2 are going into a playoff. I think really that's something that GA need to look at going forward. There's too many chances given to these teams, but there will be exciting games in it, there's no doubt about it. And Galway, I think, will be looking to top that group. They look at Tyrone, they look at Armagh. I don't think they'll fear either of them, but they'll know they can lose them on any given day for sure.
And then if we just look at it for the first game, then it's not till the 21st or 22nd of May, so they've 2 weeks now to sort of regroup. Is that a good thing, do you think?
Yeah, look, I think same as probably everyone else. I think they'll be looking for the serious stuff to start, and I think we're not sure when the actual serious stuff will start in this championship, but I think in a couple of weeks' time, Galway against Tyrone, Galway against Armagh, you'd be thinking things will be going up a level for sure. So they'll be looking at a couple of bits. Paul Conroy, looking to see what the story there is with him. Obviously, is he fit to go in 2 weeks' time? If that is an injury for Shane Walsh today, will he be fit to go in 2 weeks' time? So there'll be loads of things to be looking at, but when you go through their team there, Aisling, and you go through, like I spoke to you before the game about their half back line there, Dylan McHugh, John Daly and Killian McDade, like on paper, is there a better half back line in the country at the minute? And I nearly say the same for their half forward line in Matthew Tierney, Johnny Heaney and Peter Cook. Their middle third, they look so strong, and I think down the line there's no team that are going to want to play Galway later on in the championship.
We can only imagine that if Mayo were in the Connacht final, it would have been a very, very different final, really, even atmosphere-wise. I know it wouldn't have been here, but it would have been a total different atmosphere. Are supporters upset not to see Mayo in that Connacht final?
Look, I don't know. The way it worked out for Mayo with the league final, it was tough for the lads, in fairness. Playing Roscommon the week after, it wasn't ideal for sure. And in fairness to Roscommon, they took full advantage of whatever was there from that. Will it make any huge advantage to them in the long term? I don't think so, to be honest. You saw the group they got, obviously, the group they're going into. Kerry, the provincial loser of Leinster, which probably will be loud, and or what you would expect will be loud, and then Cork as well. So I think Mayo are in a decent place. I would expect them at the very least to be in a playoff to get to a quarter final. I think no matter what, I think there's 5 or 6 teams that can win this All-Ireland nationally. I think Mayo are certainly one of them, but I think the key is you get to a quarter final, and I think everything else for you can open up after that.
It's extremely open this year.
It is, and that's the beauty about it. And look, there might be a bit of shadow boxing in the group stages, a small bit, but I think certainly from the quarter final onwards, because the way this group is and the way the format is, the top 6 teams are almost guaranteed to get to a quarter final, really, because there's so many chances. Really, if you don't deserve to get to a quarter final, if you don't get to a quarter final, you really don't deserve to be there, because you have so many opportunities. So you'd fancy the top 6 teams to get there. It's what they can do after that. I think it's wide open. I think any one of the top 6 could win it.
Galway, they were All-Ireland finalists last year. Were you impressed what you saw today? Do you think that they can make it back there?
Yeah, Galway are going to be thereabouts, there's no doubt about it. They're definitely going to get to a quarter final at least, and like I said, no one is going to want to play them once they'll be there. They look like they have that bit of strength and depth. You look at Killian McDade coming back in today and playing wing back. John Maher has been such a find for them, if they can get Conroy back midfield with him. They still obviously Liam Silk down the line, like their full back line wasn't tested today, but I think down the line when you're looking at big matchups, Liam Silk will be a loss for them when you're looking at kind of semi-finals and finals if they get there. That's when they might feel the loss of him, and obviously Kieran Malloy as well. But all in all, they're in a really, really good place. They look so strong, they look so physical. Like were mentioning to yourself and Joe before we went on live there when they were walking around the teams during the parade, how strong, physical they look compared to Sligo, and that's the work they've done the last couple of years, you know. And they're a team that look like they're built for Croke Park, and when they get back there, you know, they're going to be very, very hard beat.
And just to mention Sligo, they're on the rise. You know, there's something bubbling in Sligo football, that is for sure. They've obviously won the Division 4, they've got promoted, they're here in a Connacht final, and to mention the under-20s, yesterday they beat Kerry and they're in their first ever under-20 All-Ireland final.
Yeah, brilliant for Sligo for sure. I think it's really, really important for Sligo now that they finish off this year well. You know, they're going into a group stage and it's not a bad group for them. I think it's actually an easier group than what they would have got if they won this kind of final. So I think it's just really important for their development, for building blocks for this team now, especially with under-20s that are going to come into the squad next year, that they develop a platform, that they have really 3 big performances in the group stage where they just give themselves, and if they get into a playoff, brilliant. If they get to a quarter final, that'll be an unbelievable success for them. But I think it'll be very difficult, but you just don't know. So I think just from a performance point of view now, they just have to really go after for their actual development. Would they be better off going into the Tailteann Cup and having a real go at that? You know, maybe they would, but just with the way this format is structured, that's not going to be possible for them. So yeah, like I said, I just think it's really important for them that they finish off the year well now.
Brilliant, Colin. Thanks for joining me today.
Yeah, thanks, Ashley.